Hey guys, what's up? This was a little bit unexpected, but I guess this is part of the course when you're dealing with idiots. It's weird because I found out about this through a roundabout way, in a way that's not really related to what this topic is about. You might remember that the last clip that I put up on my channel was just on me cutting things with my new sword, working on my cutting, because I thought that the cutting I was doing in my review video was absolutely horrendous. And while the new cutting I did was not exactly perfect, it was a little bit better. By the way, I appreciate the comments that I got on it, especially from swordsmen who practice this stuff, who are giving me tips and, trying to help me to improve my technique. I really appreciate that. I really do. Especially since I think I have a long way to go. But, only when provoked, thought that the sword clips are so cool, me doing the cutting was so cool, that he decided to make a clip from that video. He basically, took this part where I cut that really big water bottle, and he slowed it down and backed it up, and it was a really cool effect. If you're listening to this, again, I thank you for that. It was really awesome, and other people are commenting on it and such. But I noticed something weird. While I was checking that little clip out, I noticed to the right-hand side, the part where it talks about related videos to what you're watching? I noticed that there was a video made about me somewhat by Krazie 316. And I was like, oh shit, what now? Really, this is, and plus it was I thought it was something that happened instantly. I didn't realize this was something that was done about, 3 weeks ago. I kind of missed the boat on that one. But then again, I don't pay attention to Krazie 316 anymore because I've already pegged him to be a bit of a miscreant, and I want nothing to do with miscreants, so I just pretty much left him alone. But I decided, against my better judgment and against my sanity, let me go and watch this and see what he had to say. And the video, the title basically told you what the video was going to be about. He was talking about the vote in Maine about, homosexual marriage, and about me. You want my name up with it. And it was in response to my video where I was basically, saying that, people in Maine, please don't be a bunch of miscreants. And unfortunately they did. We already know how it went down. And he was doing the usual congratulatory message towards, the people over there, and then rightfully talking about how people would see them as bigots, which they are. And trying to, explain it away and coming up with some rather weak arguments to support his particular view on that. I love the whole thing about, we're not talking, this is nowhere near interracial marriage, it's not the same thing, and brings up that interracial marriages happened in ancient times. Man, the reason why they bring up the argument about interracial marriage is not to talk about how it happened in ancient times. They're talking about interracial marriage and its acceptance in this country, and that the people who were against interracial marriage in this country and even put laws against it, laws which are still in effect in certain states, by the way, they're talking about how the same people who made the argument against interracial marriage in this country are the same people making the same arguments against homosexual marriage for the same reasons. That's the crux of their argument. They're not talking about whether or not interracial marriage was accepted in ancient times in the ancient world. Nice try, the argument doesn't hold. But, of course, then what caught my attention was when he brings my name up. See, my video in Maine, I happen to have brought up that I saw another video which claimed that I lied about something that Krazie did. This is interesting. This is a prime example of how good Krazie 316 is in turning a phrase, and how he's really good at twisting the truth to suit his own ends. If you look at the video that I did in Maine, if you listen to it, you'll notice that what I was talking about was when this idiot, not Krazie, one of his supporters, had basically claimed that I lied when I said that, Krazie had blocked my comments from being stated, to make himself look good, which is what I had thought at the time. But when I realized that that's not what happened, and that he simply was screening comments and waiting until he got home from work before putting them up, I instantly put an annotation in the very beginning of the video where I explained this. saying that, look, what I say here, it's not true. It turns out that he did allow the comments to go through. Yet here's this dude claiming the contrary. Bullshit. Now that's what I was talking about. Here's what Krazie does. Instead of addressing that particular issue which I bring up, he goes to something else and says, oh, you know, Sword Sage lied about how I wanted everybody to focus on one phrase and how I didn't tell people to read the chapters. And of course they zoom into where I tell people to read the chapters. So of course he caught him in a lie. I call shenanigans, Krazie. This is bullshit. I know you hate curses, but I'm calling it for what it is. Nowhere in that video do I claim that you do not want people to read the relevant chapters. Yes, I did talk about in later videos how you were constantly talking about that one phrase in the letters about cherishing your wife and how it somehow negates all the other verses. I did harp on that because it's true. That's what you were doing, besides the other dumb arguments you were giving to try to pull it away. But not once did I state that you didn't want people to read the other chapters. You did. Nowhere do I say that, oh no, he doesn't want you to read it. I don't say that. I didn't say that. But I will say this. Even though you were telling people to read the relevant chapters before and afterwards, you were framing the argument when you were trying to get people to believe that somehow the instructions that Paul was giving in Timothy was for that church and that church only. And that the charge that he will not suffer women to have leadership over any men, oh, that was just for that church. Oh, the other churches, it was okay for women to lead. There's no evidence of this whatsoever. You were trying to frame their reading before they've read the chapter. But here you are trying to claim that, oh, I didn't tell. You look at the videos. Go ahead and watch them. See where I'm telling people that, oh, he doesn't want you to read the chapters. I don't say that. So, and then he, of course, challenges me to, oh, come and bring it because me and my people. So you need a gang of people to deal with me. I don't need a gang of people to deal with you. Not that I really wanted to. But you really want to go here, huh? I could spend my time once again showing the flaws of your arguments on that particular subject because they're easy to see. And despite the fact that you're trying to make it look like, oh, the evidence is on your side that you were right, bringing up other Christian sites that are going to be writing your things in your favor. Of course, Christian sites would say the same thing that you're saying because they're trying to make themselves look good just like you were. Doesn't mean anything. You need third-party sources to verify your claims, dude. Not people on the same side. I could start this all over again and show how your argument's flawed, but I'm not going to do that because, to quote what you were saying, the comments under the videos speak for themselves. The only difference is you're deluded enough to think that your comments speak for yourself under your videos is proving you right, when, quite frankly, anyone with half a brain who saw the whole thing, Christians included, saw that I was the one who was right. And pretty much all the stuff that I was saying in those videos, I made sure to verify them with at least 3 different priests beforehand. So, whatever. But I don't think that is important at this point. Some of you might think it is important, considering that this whole thing started over, gay rights. But that's, to me, not the important part. The important part is not that particular debate, even though, once again, I invite people to check out his videos and check out my videos and see it for yourself. There's something else that I think is a lot more vitally important. I have one question that I would like to send to Krazie. It's the only question that I officially send his way. Anything else that I'm saying towards him is basically a rhetorical question because I already know what answers I'm going to get with my other questions, and it's this BS that I've seen before from him and from people like him, and I'm not going to accept garbage. I already know what I'm going to get. But this particular question, it would be interesting to get an answer to. If he decides to send an answer, fine. If he doesn't send an answer, that's on him. It's whatever. I'm not forcing you to this. Why do you have ratings disabled on your videos? Why? I'm a bit curious about this. I mean, I have my suspicions as to why, but they're just that. My suspicions. They aren't necessarily true. Why do you have ratings disabled on your videos? I don't really get it. The reason why I don't get it is because you're somebody who puts yourself out as somebody who speaks the truth all the time. Everything that you put out in your videos, you claim to be, it. You claim it to be the truth. That you're absolutely correct. That you're right. Well, if that's the case, then why disable the ratings? If what you state is the truth, then it doesn't matter whether it's 1 star or 5 stars. It doesn't matter the rating you get. If you happen to put out a video stating that water's chemical name is H2O, you'd be right whether somebody puts up 1 star or 5 stars. It wouldn't matter, because the truth would speak for itself, wouldn't it? Yet here you are, disabling that. And I think it's key to who